My parents started living in my house, and when my older sister also moved in, she asked for the master bedroom and half of the house's personal space. I'm 24, and last year I inherited a gorgeous old Victorian home from my grandmother. It was the kind of house you see on postcards. Big, wraparound porch, tall windows, creaky wood floors that smelled faintly of lemon oil from decades of cleaning. I'd barely had time to settle in when my parents asked if they could move in temporarily. Their rent had gone up and money was tight. I didn't think twice. Of course I said yes. It felt nice to fill the empty rooms, to have laughter and voices echo through the halls again. The first month was almost wholesome. Mom cooked dinner every night, Dad mowed the lawn. We watched movies in the living room like we used to. For the first time in years, I thought maybe we were building something close to family again. That illusion shattered the night my sister Kelsey showed up unannounced with a U-Haul and half her belongings. No phone call, no warning, just a dramatic, I'm between apartments, let me crash here for a while. Kelsey had always been the storm cloud of the family, constantly bouncing between jobs and boyfriends, but this felt different. From the start, she acted strange. She walked through the house with her phone out, snapping pictures of walls, corners, closets. She measured spaces with a tape measure like some kind of contractor. When I asked, she brushed it off. Just familiarizing myself with the space, she said with a smirk. Within days, she demanded the master bedroom. Her reasoning? She suddenly needed space for art supplies. That was laughable. Kelsey's never been artistic in her life. She used to brag about barely passing middle school art class. I refused, firmly. My house, my room, that's when things took a darker turn. I began catching them, my parents and Kelsey, whispering together. The moment I entered the room, they'd scatter or change the subject to something trivial like groceries or the weather. Dad began asking bizarre questions about the house. When did Grandma renovate the basement? Did she ever mention leaving behind old documents? Did she hide anything valuable? At first, I thought it was just idle curiosity. Then Kelsey started pushing to go through Grandma's old boxes, insisting she wanted to organize family history. The way she asked, though, felt like she was probing for something. My gut screamed something was wrong. So I hid a small security camera in the living room. What I saw days later left me cold. At 2:17 a.m., the footage showed all three of them sneaking downstairs. Dad carried a metal detector. Kelsey spread out old house blueprints on my coffee table. Mom held a flashlight, whispering like a lookout. Kelsey pointed to the master bedroom on the plans. She said it's in here somewhere. Grandma told me before she died, the family treasure is hidden where nobody would expect. Treasure? My grandmother? She was a frugal woman who lived on casseroles and coupons. Yet for 5 nights straight, I caught them tearing through my home, prying up floorboards, sweeping the basement, even bringing in some rented scanning device. They combed every corner of the house, except my master bedroom. Suddenly, Kelsey's demand made sense. I did some digging of my own, and the truth stunned me. Decades earlier, my grandmother had inherited a collection of rare Civil War-era coins from her father, supposedly worth hundreds of thousands, but during the 1980s renovations, she quietly hid them away, and Kelsey, visiting Grandma in her final weeks, had manipulated her into spilling the secret. Grandma, half delirious on medication, told her where the treasure was hidden. Kelsey turned around and roped my parents into this insane plan. They hadn't moved in out of desperation. They were staging an inside job. I let the footage build for a week. Then, one morning, I called them all into the living room. My laptop sat open, paused on a still image of the three of them sneaking with the metal detector. Before breakfast, I said calmly, I want to show you something interesting. I hit play. Their own voices filled the room. The treasure has to be in the master bedroom. That's the only place we haven't checked. Kelsey's face drained of color. Dad stammered. Mom looked ready to faint. We can explain? Dad started. No, I cut him off. You can explain it to the police. I'm done. And here's the punchline. While they were playing treasure hunters in the dead of night, I'd already found it. By pure accident, weeks earlier, I'd noticed one air vent in my master bedroom felt heavy. When I unscrewed it, inside was a hidden compartment stuffed with coin rolls. Nearly $247,000 worth of rare Civil War coins. All that scheming, all that betrayal for nothing. Police arrived later that afternoon with the video evidence, charges of conspiracy and attempted theft stuck. Kelsey, as ringleader, faced the harshest penalty. As for me, I sold the coins, bought a larger house in a safer neighborhood, and installed far more advanced security. This time, I keep the doors locked tight, from family most of all.